Hello everybody, and welcome to the studio. I'm Dylan, your host and artist for today, well, every day, for now. Today we're going to be working on some macrame projects. Last night I was finishing up some tutorials to learn... sorry, I gotta turn this down. I had to get some new rope for learning some more macrame. But I managed to achieve quite a lot in a short time. So, I've learned a few different knots, and the main thing that I've learned from my experience doing these is that macrame requires a non-stretchy string. Otherwise, you're just going to have a time fighting it. It's not going to be enjoyable to work with. So I picked up a few various different strings to kind of work with. One is still, I got an extra spool of the twine so I could start playing with it. I'm pretty certain this is what I want to make my halo out of, just because it is very rustic looking. So that's it's close to the material values that I want. I'm going to be accenting the halo with some gold paint, so that's going to kind of highlight certain spots, and it's going to make a very interesting showpiece for that painting. But before we get into any of the complex design processes, we need to get a better understanding of the fundamentals of macrame. We need to get more patterns and rhythms developed. So things like the square knot, we have done quite a few of those yesterday, and last night I finished up quite a bit more to get it under my belt and very comfortable with. So that's this guy here. Additionally, I played with the hitch loop. I don't know, we're gonna have to look up the terminologies for a lot of these knots later in the stream, but for now I'm just kind of setting myself up in a few different directions. We're gonna be experimenting with a few of these knots in different ways just a little bit later, but I also want to go through some of the other tutorials that I've found and practice a bit more of these knots using a finer string. Something a little closer to the twine that we'll be using. And so I've picked up this red yarn. This is, or I suppose it should be called string. I suppose maybe yarn is stretchy, string isn't. I don't know. Someone maybe let me know in comments, or if you have an experience with macrame, maybe you can fill me in. So what I've started to do is to create a ring, and I think we're going to create a small mandala / I think it might develop into a very custom lampshade. I've been meaning to gift a friend of mine something for her 30th birthday, and I have promised her a lamp for a while, so I think this will be the foundations to something very special, but it's definitely going to be developed over time. The beginnings of this project will be for us to just learn. We're going to be able to play with large swaths of patterns and develop interesting compositions with those different patterns. So I'm going to be using various different threads for that specific lampshade. I kind of want the inner to... I want it to be kind of 3 layers of macrame to construct this very solid kind of orb. And I want the inner one to be this orange-red yarn, and then the middle one to be sort of this cream, more slightly rustic yarn, and then the outermost macrame pattern to be made with the twine that I'm going to be eventually making the halo out of. So we're going to continue working with this loop that I've created here, and I'm going to move you down over here to show you what I'm working on. So I've got my coffee here to settle in for the day. And this here is just a simple ring that I've attached the two ends together. And we're filling the ring in with a series of, what is it called? Lark head knots. I think that's correct. Let's pull up some terminology and get into it. So I've got Microsoft Edge here. I don't normally use this as my browser, but this is going to probably be my studio browser, just to have simplicity, separation from my standard browsers. Just to explain myself away here. Macramé patterns? Sure, let's start there. Good evening, Keith. Thank you again for joining me today. Maybe we should go to tutorials again. Oh yeah, we agree. No. Okay. Sentence. Okay. So our sentence. This is the term for a completed knot, or an accumulation of knots, I should say. A repeated pattern is, in terms, a sentence. So if you see this here, one of these is one sonnet. One of these is a repeated version of that one sonnet. So a sonnet is kind of a broad stroke. It's sort of like a finger, or how could I say it? It's a finger, but not all thumbs, or not all fingers are thumbs, right? So if your specific knot is asking for a sonnet of something, you're gonna want to look into that specific knot. Get caught up in the weeds here. Let's just look at macrame. Yeah, we want sonnets. 101. Ooh, that's a lot. We are very familiar with the square knot sonnet. Oh, okay, I see. She does it one at a time. Let's just go to the channel. That was correct. It's Lark's Head. So that's what I've been filling this ring in with, is Lark's Head knots. I feel like that's one of those things I'm gonna learn 1,000 times and still be unsure of myself. Got my string tangled up my chair. Hold on. Hey, Sierra. So to make each one of these and to be consistent about it, share my technique here for a moment. I'm just gonna pause this. Go over to back to me for a moment. So I'm gonna take my string and find the end of it. I'm gonna just, to have a consistent run of string without having to pull out like a meter stick or anything, just to be quick about it, I'm grabbing it with my index and thumb, stretching my arm out as far as I can, and then to my sternum, I'm just holding the string to my sternum, so wherever the center of my chest is. That's going to give me a pretty close approximation for each time I cut this string. And then when I do, to stop these ends from fraying, this is a polystyrene string, so plastic, and plastic melts at high temperatures, right? So we're going to want to just melt the ends to kind of put all those little spindly bits wrapped together, and so it won't unwind itself. So we're just going to repeat this whole bunch to fill in our ring here. So it's going to go over, and then the two ends go through the loop. Sometimes I want to make sure that the two ends match the same distance. So I'll show you here. These are the two ends, right? Need to make sure that it has a kind of a consistent distance. They're the same. And then every 3, to keep myself orderly, I am knotting each bundle with a very loose knot. This has a specific name, this type of knot, but we'll learn that in the future, I think. I saw it last night. I don't remember what it is. If you're doing this whole burning polystyrene method, first off, I wouldn't recommend it. It is toxic. Don't breathe in the fumes. Yesterday I was also cautious about my oil paints. Taking safety as seriously today, it seems. Rumbling sound you're hearing is the spool of wire being unwound. Spool of string, I should say. You're right. Maybe I should wear maybe I should wear a face mask while doing this process. All right, safety first. But now you get to hear me talk like this. Does it sound? It's got to sound drastically different. Hollow, right? But now I can't blow it. I can't blow the fumes away. Wonder how long this is going to take. Probably a good while. Gotta get a good method going. Yeah, don't let go of the string. I get things like this where I didn't make a good enough burn. It's gonna unwind after we do it. Wish I had extra arms. I thought about doing this beforehand, kind of get it out of the way, but what kind of artist would I be to deprive you of such thrilling and engaging entertainment? But this process is kind of the first necessary step to create our mandala. It's something we're going to need to repeat several times on several different rings. So for now, I think it's best I finish this up on the lunch break, and we go back to learning some cool knots. So, until later, let's set this guy aside. Practice. We've got some wire here. Keeping with the thread. Ooh, that's hot. Just assuming that we're going to need a whole bunch of these. Mandala is going to be extremely complicated in the end, I think. It's going to be a composition of several different sonnets and patterns. And I'm actually planning to make, I think I'm going to make it asymmetrical. Alright. Let's take that off. Give ourselves some time. I'm just going to steal these ones. So yeah, the mandala is going to be quite the project. It's going to take a lot of time. Considering we're still in the learning phase here. I imagine it's going to be a few weeks. But who knows, maybe we'll surprise ourselves. Get through it a little quicker. Anticipate. So we've got 6 of these guys ready for us to start working with. To match that, to practice each knot, I'm going to cut out some of the rope that I also picked up yesterday. This was excellent for helping me practice all these very complicated knots that were completely new to me. Now they all seem so simple. Just like the other one, which, let me just throw the mask back real quick. So, all right, I'm just gonna do 3 for now. And then if we need more, we can always mix more. Hurt myself a little bit. One of the melted ends, right after I had finished melting it, dropped and touched my skin there. And for a little second, it got me. It's already starting to blister a little bit. Be careful. I'm also interested in what happens when we start incorporating different ones. What would if I work with these guys to do a square knot? Let's experiment. I think this is what today is going to be all about, is just trying different things and seeing what happens. Quite interesting. I feel like this really shows an appreciation for the knot itself and the rhythmic pattern that it has to take. Quite interesting. Oh, it does like a ladder effect on this side. That is stunning. Well, we gotta repeat that. Gotta keep going now. Get these guys out of the way. Nope, mess up, no. Where are we? It's definitely harder. I'll lose your spot real quickly. Okay, back to the start there. To the left. Start there. really enjoying the color combination. So, look on the other side. And it wants to, does it want to jumble? Interesting. Kind of scrunch it up a little bit. Harder to maintain clean knot, especially at the end here. You'd have to find a way to terminate it, but this is gorgeous. We're going to hold on to that. So anytime we create something that we love, I think we need to tape it down. Tape the ends here. Let's clean this up a bit and return it to a nice knot in there. Stood up. Make it a bit tighter. That's the solution here. Something I had noticed with these square knots, we have these two center threads that don't ever really get touched. They just run the whole length, and it's continuous. I'm curious if one of them is even necessary. And so instead of using 4 to bundle up a square, you only use 3. And then a combination of 3 larkhead knots could create 2 square knots. I think that's what we're going to try next with this. Has messed up. My whole process of talking about what I was going to do, messed myself up. Seems to be a common thread. something that occurs if I don't tighten it enough. Really enunciated my T's on that one. Don't tighten it enough, and we get kind of these weird artifacts occurring. Did I grab the wrong thing? Goodness. How did I do this so cleanly and now I can't even get back to it? It's just because I don't have enough thread to work with here now. Okay, so this is the reverse side. This needs to return to the left side. Seems I just need to concentrate. Go figure. No. See? I talk for 1 second and I mess myself up. Over and under. Under and over. Yeah, that's what it is. The string is too small, and I'm just losing it. So I gotta tape it down here. Tape, tape, tape. Where's my tape? Here. Stretch. This isn't sticking down very well. I think we do. We commit. Glue is the ultimate commitment. So these guys are plastic. The super glue will just melt it all together. Now what I don't want to do is touch it, because it will be both hot from a thermochemical reaction, and it's gonna stick to me. It's gonna stick to me so bad. I don't want that. I like that. All this off. But this is a great sample. Nice little experiment. It's gonna definitely be incorporated somewhere in these various projects. The backside is very backside. It reads backside to me. This side is very like presented. It's a presentable side. I think that's gorgeous. Okay, so experiment 2. Using only 2 lark head knots. No, 3 lark head knots. I didn't breathe in toxic fumes, I swear. Okay. Stay on there. So we now have 2 lark head knots. Make 2 square knots. Ooh, I have an idea. Even better. Eep, are you aware of the artist Frida Kahlo? If so, I feel as though this next set of knots is gonna look very Frida Kahlo-esque. If you don't know what that means, then Google her. Very famous Spanish or Mexican, I think Spanish, but also want to say Mexican artist. Whether she's from Spain or Mexico is I'm not certain. She's a very famous painter. Painted a lot of flowers and cow skulls for their particular appearance and shape. Reminiscent of female anatomy, if you will. Did I just try making these go the same direction? I didn't mean to. Oh, what's mirrored, right? That's a mirror? Oof. Plugging my eyes out. Just a little art history lesson for you, too. Just lift that up. There's that, the Frida Kahlo aspect I was anticipating. Maybe we incorporate that somewhere in the design. It's hilarious. Interesting. The knots are identical, but it just, for whatever reason, feels like they're fundamentally different. Like they're mirrored. It's supposed to be. Maybe I just did one tighter than the other. Well, I'm glad that works. Let's get into learning some other people's knots. We know all about the lark's head. Reverse lark's head. The half knot. Yeah, we've learned the half knot. We've been just doing that the whole time. Acceptable pitch note. This was the one that we were having difficulty with yesterday. So let's practice that a little bit with these orange ones here. And to maybe exemplify what happens with these, let's undo this, reuse it. It may seem weird to be undoing work that we've done here, but we didn't learn anything from this pattern here, other than you can reduce the number of inner lines for the square knot. But let's see. What is this like if we start alternating these? I actually have an idea. What if this lark's head knot nestles in this other one? So, should have 1, 2, 3, 4. And then let's do that 2 more times. And that way we'll be able to create a very long, intricate version of this knot. So yesterday I did manage to complete it. That's this one here. So it's easy enough to do with a stiff rope. You can actually start identifying the loops each time. So I don't need to remake that here. I just want to see how else we can make that pattern interesting. So let's see what adding in the orange lines does to reveal this pattern. I know what I do. I want that sitting above or below? Maybe below. I had it right the first time. This guy. Okay. So between each one, we have another. Now, this is going to be hecka complicated, but let's see if we can do it. See, now, we had started the other day by using this one. They're starting it a little different by having one already run through. But understanding that, I think I'll be okay. think I know what this is going to already do, and I like it. I think it's just going to end up with these orange strips through it. Starting to feel like there's no wrong answers here. As long as you're doing something repetitive, you're gonna make something beautiful. Interesting part of that is I don't have a symmetrical knot or pattern, because this run, or this thread, went this way, and it would be then returning this way. So it's understandable now why he had that extra thread there. Or she. They have fingernail paint. Nail polish, I should say. But let's keep going and see if we create something that we end up really liking. Because who knows? We just might. So I'm not sure how many more runs I could actually make. This guy has to do this. So I'm probably going to be up there. I definitely agree with you, Keep. This is awesome. It's the other side. Quite interesting. I think I need to do a couple more layers to get a good evaluation of it. Oops. Almost messed it up. Starting to develop a muscle memory, which is nice. So I can tell when I've done something that doesn't feel right. I have enough just to get us back over. Maybe enough to go one more row. Would be nice. I'd like to be able to see what a good swath of this looks like altogether. What is she working on now? I have to pause that. Just focus on me for a moment. flipped here. I grabbed the wrong thread for the first one. Had a good hand motion going there for a moment. Oh, that's not right. It goes over. That's what it is. There it is. That's what I was doing. Well, might as well go one more. Yeah, a good picture of it on the other side. Yeah, definitely I'll do one more. Not as quick going the other direction. Oh, I did that same thing again. Oh, why do I keep doing that? So, that's something to bear in mind if I do use this pattern in any of my designs. Keep these two identified. Always start with the right one. In this case, the left one. So, very cool. Also very cool. It's pretty neat. It's very basket-like, this one. I mean, at least when you're viewing it from this side. This is quite interesting, this one. Especially if we were to have not used this and had run our own separate line, we would have this matching thing occur. Alternatively, you maybe want this on the outside of both sides. I kind of like that it does this sort of thing. So a little extra bit of detail there, which I really enjoy. Then we could affix something here and here. So on. So if this was maybe a row or something like a ring, like this was continuous all the way around kind of thing. I'm just thinking out loud at this point. By the way, I think this is a really cool one. I don't feel like it needs too much. I don't need help staying. Realizing maybe I should have glued these guys as well. Or kept it on the hook. I'm gonna try to put this onto a hook in a bit. But let's keep this where it is. Trying to prevent this from when I'm done. Okay, set that guy aside. Let's rerun wire for this guy. Trying to think how I can replicate a Clark's head knot here. I think it's supposed to actually be part of this. I think I'm just messing this whole thing up. Just hold this for now. May end up making another one of these in the future, maybe a bit longer. Feels like we haven't done a lot, but it's already been an hour and a half. We're gonna go on a short break for a moment. When we get back, we'll start up another trusting knot. Maybe we'll try something for someone else's design. In about 5. And we're back. So, actually, I'm gonna move this up here. We're gonna work on that next set of knots that we saw a person make in there. So, I think I'm just going to use our orange thread. She has 4 of them, so keep borrowing from my... She's taking another string, so I'm going to do the same. This thread that I have here, it's actually composed of 3 lines. So I'm just going to unravel them and use one. Got one here. In behind these 2. Over. What? And above. Same thing in reverse. Or is that just 2? It's just a proper knot, I guess. I need more string on this one. So I guess we can put it down there, and then I can run this back up. Thing interesting about macrame is that these distances between each knot, you can actually kind of create your own regularity. It's almost like net making. What else do they got for me? This seems like a pretty simple one. It's just a different version of a square knot. Alright, looks like that's the end of that playlist. I feel like we've got our basic knots down. And at this point, it really is just about experimenting. Finishing knot. That is something that I haven't learned yet. Let's try that then. I want to maybe use... Oh. This pattern was just too simple. I think it's worth practicing. Cut a few of these. So at the top of the show, I was talking about the mandala creating our halo, but I feel like even after just producing these two experiments, I need to spend a lot more time with this and figure out what are some interesting things that we can do. And that's going to be a lot of experimenting, and to be honest, I don't know how exciting it's going to be. So, thinking after we learn our finishing knots here, that might be the end of today's stream. I call it a little bit short today. So this weekend coming up, I'm talking, it is Thursday today. Friday, I'm gonna do one short stream, I think, earlier in the day. So maybe a bit earlier than we typically have been all week. And then for the remainder of the weekend, I'm actually away, so there won't be any live streams on Saturday or Sunday. We will be returning Monday. And probably gonna end up taking, I'm heading out of town this weekend, so we're probably gonna end up taking some of the streams with me, and I'm gonna practicing my macrame off camera. I missed the barrel marks. It's back. Make a single cord. Okay. Behind itself. Is that really it? Just keep doing this. Tighten it. It has a funny back. Is that the idea? Is we're okay with that funny back? So, I guess you can make them as long as you need them to be. Kind of looks like a grub, a little insect, something. Heaving knot. Got a loop behind its back. Wait a second. Okay. Kind of has this, does a loop behind the back. He's pinching these two together. A 3, 2. So there it is. The one that's going around it. Sorry, I missed the end there. What should you do? Just do the ball. Okay. Just tighten that. I like that one a lot better than the other one. Yeah, that one's much nicer. And pretty easy, too. Definitely have to practice it a few times off camera. It's a pretty standard knot. I think it's the same as the noose. Used to make those all the time when we were kids. Alright. Don't ask why. It's no real purpose. What are we doing here? What are we doing now? Oh, that's cute. Ooh. feel like this one's going to be an important one. We're terminating kind of two strands coming in one direction, although this is only one. I'm gonna have some interesting times, I think, coming to the ends of the halo. Interesting little knot here. So what's he doing now? Figure 8 knot. He is right, it is a very simple knot. Now that is a knot you would use tying a boat. So you would double it, and that's how you would hitch it to a boat hitch or a dock. Should I make more rope? Ooh. Yes, please. That looks very cool. And actually, conveniently, we have exactly that scenario right here already. So I would need to untie this, and I don't want to. So I'm going to share this right now that I have it out. This here is called a Josephine's knot. It's one of the harder knots that I had learned last night, but also one of the prettiest. Quite gorgeous. We'll just cut a new piece. Does seem very complicated. But so far, everything that I've seen, while it looks all very complicated, it's pretty easy too. Not too hard. The Josephine knot I really want to utilize to make a ring of them inside the halo. Too gorgeous not to use. Let's see how to make this knot. It just wants me to do one of these bad boys first. Let's get a good spiral going. Okay, let's see. I don't have as much as him, but I don't think I need it all. About 30 centimeters down. That's about all the cord that I've got. Does he just need one? Oh, it's a new cord. Completely new cord. Okay. Would have been a mistake. Well, I might as well make this a bit longer then. Got our 30 centimeter length here. We go a little bit extra. It wants me to make a loopy loop. These just wants me to go all the way around it. Okay. Do something to secure that. No, it just cuts off the excess. So I guess once you like really tighten it all up. Maybe just squeezes it all together now. Make a very tight. Not doing that. But also pulls. Interesting properties for that. No idea what he was on the end of that, but don't know, how am I feeling? Oh, I have some extra here, might as well. Follow along. I don't have a whole lot left. Well, need some more. Seems very complicated. Switching around. It seems to struggle a bit better. We got that. Fuse there. Okay. What are we doing? I feel like a lot of Infinity knots start looking like religious iconography. Okay, what happened? Where did that go? Where? Was she just tightening it? Like we're done? And she goes. Is that really it? I guess so. It's pretty. It's certainly pretty. No, hers is different than mine. No, that's the same. It just looks different from different angles. Weird. Okay, that's an interesting one. Oops. I learned that one already. Ooh, that's a cool one. Spiral flower knot. Yes, please. Let's just undo this figure 8 because that's a pretty simple one. Attention. going. Just keeps going. Like, would have benefited with more, hoops, maybe? Hers is prettier. That's the one we just did. That's a pretty nice one. That's just the figure 8 repeated, I think. Pay attention. That's very cool. I don't actually have that much. Ew. Didn't make my loop big enough, but I get the idea. It's just the figure 8 not repeated, extended. You know what? I think I'm happy with that. So, the rest of my day is going to be a bit more experimenting. But I'm going to do that outside of the studio. Relax on the couch, vegetating to some television. So, we're going to call it short today. And just... Oh! So, a short day in the studio, but thank you for joining me. You are so lopsided. Okay. Alright, so lots to do still, but I think it's going to be just me, myself, and Irene figuring it out. As I said earlier in the stream, I'm going to be away this weekend, so I will not have any uploads coming during those during Saturday or Sunday, but Monday we should be back up in the studio here, and hopefully I'll have more to show you. Otherwise, I'm going to call it. Thank you so much, Keep, for joining me again today. It was wonderful to see you, and I will hopefully see you Monday. Otherwise, have a wonderful weekend.